Terence Crawford was on with Mario Lopez and Stevie Kim on the 3 Knockdown podcast. I ain't no big fan of Stevie Kim because some of the shit he said and did in the past. But he good at what he do. I like Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez cool. Going all the way back to Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell. So I like Mario Lopez. He's cool as hell. But he said a couple things on there. I'm gonna talk about him doubling down and saying he wanted to rematch Canelo. But first, we're gonna talk about him saying that Derrick James got out coached. And in so many words, he said Derrick James is trash. That's what he said. He kept it respectful. He didn't go disrespect the man, but he's, Derrick James opened up that can of worms by him saying, Bomac needed 3 coaches and he needed a staff and all that other type shit he was saying, and he overweight and all that. None of that was called for. Bomac never disrespected him. Now Bernie the Boxer disrespected him on Lion Killer Podcast. I could see him taking that as disrespect because they wanted to fight. He brought a lot of hostile energy to the press conference, and every time they would bring up Terence Crawford, check out the Boxing News playlist, by the way, they would feel a need to. They was defensive every time. I remember Marcos Villegas had brought up about them fighting Terence Crawford and shit, and they were signing a bunch of gloves in this particular interview, and this is the one where he said, "Well, Terence Crawford got to get his numbers up. He got to get his numbers up." That was that interview. And they was just always diminishing Terence Crawford like he wasn't shit. And that's probably why they lost, to be honest. It probably had shit to do with EJ's skill set, whatever y'all want to blame, accident, his lack of fundamentals and stuff, man. One thing about the universe, bro, you get what you deserve. And how can I say it? What you reap ain't, and what you reap is what you sow. But when the universe gets to sowing, because that's a good and bad thing, you can reap a lot of great benefits. You kind of know what I'm saying. I'm kind of off trying to do something else, but you can, what you put in is what you get out of life for the most part. It may not be to what you want. Like, I'm doing a lot of great things. I need $1 billion. Not like that, but just the energy they was putting out in the fight. And all the bullshit they was saying, dog, to be honest, it don't really surprise me that they lost. Because they was putting a lot of negative energy. They was putting in a lot of negative energy into this fight, bro. For real. They was putting in a ton of negative energy. But he said that when he was telling Errol Spence to step around, he said that was bad advice. He said it was bad advice. So, he said take nothing away from him. He's still a hell of a coach. And that's kind of like, yeah, but a girl ever, or if y'all females out there, whatever y'all prefer, I ain't knocking it. Somebody break up with you and be like, oh, it's not you, it's me. That's what that is. It's kind of like, he's still a good coach. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what that is. Like, it's you, not me. You know what I'm saying? It's me, it's not you, I just have to move on to do better things. That's what it is. Like, he fucked up that night, but he's still a good coach. No, and at the end of the day, you putting all that negative energy, you hating on the man, y'all going back and forth. The man giving you credit, so I can't wait to match, wits with the guy, and do you think, he put you, it was based off white. Said it was white and Derrick Crawford. All that, But I should have knew this ninja didn't know what he was doing, and Errol was gonna lose when he started talking about, I'm gonna put this in bullets. Bullets. No. You know what I'm saying? When he started claiming to be a practicing Buddhist, that's when I knew it was game over like Lil Flip. But yeah, talking about he fat, this dude fat and he out of shape and all this type shit. Running his mouth. What they got to do with the battle of the minds? I watched Jackson State, South Carolina State, and they was, and Jackson State ain't missed a beat. Don't look like without Deion. And they was, they battled the bands, whatever. Halftime the bands played. You think they over there talking about, well, they tuba player 500 pounds, man. As long as that shit sound good, it sound good. As long as he get up and able to do the marches, and they did a Tina Turner tribute, as long as he able to get up there and perform, who cares? And Derrick James tried to pull a Houdini and put a sheet over people's heads and try to sell you a Kool-Aid when it was fucking Crystal Light. That's all he did. And the people who knew boxing, who don't get caught up in the, into what people saying, I used to get caught up, I'm gonna knock Floyd out and I'm gonna do this to Tyson. I used to get caught up, he really gonna do it. And once you see that play 1,000 times over again, you keep seeing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and keep hearing it. You starting to pick up, and you start to pick up like, oh, it's an act, or they trying to sell the fight, or look at his body language, it ain't matching what he's saying. And you learn to ignore that shit. That's why I told y'all I had to learn boxing for myself, because I can't listen to sparring partners, can't listen to every coach, because the fraternity is so small that people got agendas. They have agendas. So I had to learn it for myself. So I knew when I bet my money, or I made my picks, or when I talked, I sound intelligent. There's a lot of people that come on here and don't give a hell and don't do no research and don't sound intelligent at all. You got your days where your mind is distraught and shit, and you can't think clearly. You got some other shit on your mind. I get that. A lot of these dudes come on here consistently not sounding intelligent. That's wild. And if you're gonna put your mark on something, why not put your best mark on it? Why not put your best foot forward? But stepping around, coming from the fighter that was in the ring, what great advice. You step around and do what? What you gonna do once you step around? Because he gonna step with you. He gonna take that angle away from you. As soon as you step around, Crawford gonna take that step around. You know what I'm saying? So, it's interesting. But, he's still a great coach. And for a rematch, you got to, catch, he was catching and shooting. Bud was catching and shooting, all types of shit. Taking advantage of issues. He could say, well, I had my legs in, or I was dehydrated, is what they saying. You and Al Heyman chose to hang around that long. But he don't fight with a rhythm. And sometimes you gotta fight with a rhythm. That's why you see every now and again a boxer in the middle of the fight, he get on his toes and get them that blood circulating in his legs and get a rhythm going. You got some guys like Floyd that don't always fight with a rhythm, because then can't nobody really get your rhythm down pat. Sometimes Floyd get in a rhythm. Sometimes he'll be stationary, so you can't time him. So you gotta have some type of rhythm. And Errol Spence don't have no rhythm. And what Derrick James could teach him in a rematch, obviously, hopefully he have a healthy fighter. But he didn't know what he was doing. Like Terence Crawford said, he was outmatched. He was outgunned. He said they thought they was just gonna come over there and have a backup plan. That's never good. The backup to the backup to the backup should have a plan. You should come in and fight with 5 different game plans at least, depending on the opponent. Having a game plan where we gonna just come forward and crush this dude. What if that don't work? Then what we go into? What if that don't work? It ain't like you going in there with a guy that just got one tool. Okay, all he do is got speed, so we just gonna wear him down. That'd be different. I'm okay. Hit him everywhere, wear him down. But you going in there with a guy that know how to deal with pressure, that know how to counter punch, that know how to catch and shoot, that know how to punch with both hands, that got footwork. You going in there with the complete package. They can fight on the inside, fight on the outside, can punch to the body. You going in with the complete package. So thinking that one game plan was going to do that, and Terence Crawford and them came with multiple game plans. Red Spike said they had multiple game plans. They was very prepared. Very prepared. But, he did double down and say that on there that he want to fight Canelo, even when Stevie Kim said it sounded a little bit ludicrous. Said he still wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez. Al Heyman probably showed him the financials of that fight. He like, oh, hell yeah. I can get up to 168. That's still, your career about to be over with anyway. So, you know, if I was him, I'd try to get a belt at 54 then, jump up there and see what I could do. But I probably kind of bring Floyd in, you know, to see the success he had with his angles and stuff, and pick his brain a little bit on there, because that's what he gonna have to do. You gonna have to, for 12 rounds, you got to keep him off balance. You got to keep him on his heels. Once he get on the balls, his feet are on the front of his feet. You know what I'm saying? Then you're gonna be on the offense. Then you're gonna be on the defensive. You gotta keep Canelo on his heels. And when he get on his front of his feet, then you gotta put him back on his heels. You know, that's not necessarily done on a straight line. That's angling. You know what I'm saying? That's what Floyd did. He kept him on his heels. And when Canelo was on the balls, his feet on the front of his feet, on the front foot, Floyd would just, you know, make him miss, catch, you know, counter him, put him back on his heels, turn him, get back on top of him, pause, and go to work. But Canelo load up. And there's your opportunity just to shoot and get out of there. Shoot, turn them, keep shooting. So it ain't impossible. If you do that, man, like Stevie Kim said in the interview, he said he do that. He said, man, make room for him on the Mount Rushmore. And obviously we had other great, phenomenal fighters. I mean, Henry Armstrong, Sugar Ray Robinson would have been light heavyweight champion of the world if it wasn't for heat exhaustion, fighting outside. You know, you had other great fighters. You know, I mean, I think Thomas Hearns in his career off, you know, fought as high as cruiserweight. Sugar Ray Robinson Sugar Ray Leonard fought for the 68, 75 pound titles at 165 or 164 or something like that. So, been some phenomenal things done in the sport of boxing. So I get the knee jerk reaction to it, but you know, a lot of these dudes done phenomenal things. So, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit notification, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Check out the Box News playlist. Hit the link tree. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Check out the Box News and What's Waiting playlist. Please.